Hey everyone, welcome to this week's podcast for Junior Pro Talk. We just got done with Ohio JOAD Nationals, so we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And we were discussing that since Will Raper was not able to go to the Nationals, that he was going to kind of lead the discussion for today's podcast, so we get to talk a lot. All right, so Will, go ahead and ask us some questions, how we did, and just what was going on.
All right, so Chris, my first one's for you. How did you place during qualifications? And then during the ORs, how did you end up?
All right, well, I can give you some numbers real quick. First day of qualifications, as everyone knows, and if you're watching our interviews that we were doing on the field, it was extremely windy, especially for the people that shot in the morning because, storm systems were going in and out, and it was just pretty crazy weather. But afternoon kind of calmed down a little bit, and I shot a 341 for my first score, 346. So that ended up with a 687, and I was tied at the end of the first day with Charlie Weinstein, but I think he was beating me in tens at that point. So technically speaking, I was in third, and we were behind David Hauser. He was about 10 points up, I believe, 11 points up. So he had a pretty good gap on us. He shot a 346 and a 352, so he lit it up when we were all struggling in the wind. So that was good. And then second day, did a little bit better. Shot 344 and a 352, so 696, almost broke 700. But 352 is the highest score I've ever shot at a tournament, so I was really pumped about that. And before that, it was only a 349, so I was really happy with that. And total score of 1383, and that put me in second place behind David Hauser, and he was ahead of me by 4 points. So it was close. I gained my second spot place over Charlie. He came in third. So congrats to Charlie, congrats to David. And then originally we were all supposed to shoot on Sunday, Sunday for ORs or eliminations, but smart choice for USA Archery, we decided to switch team round days with OR days so that we could miss weather. So we ended up shooting on Saturday for ORs, and weather was a bit crazy in the morning, and we actually didn't shoot because the adults were shooting in the morning, but we were supposed to start at 1 o'clock, but we had some rain delays and organization issues on USA Archery side, so we actually didn't end up starting until like 5 o'clock, which was crazy.
It was like 7.
Yeah,
Like 7.
yeah, it was some people. It was crazy because they had to go through the 64s to 30 seconds, and then finally we could shoot because we only had 30 people or so. So that was crazy. And I shot good. I kept it in the 140s all the way through. Actually, ended up shooting 148. Made it through the quarters. Made it through the semis. Semis, I went against Charlie Weinstein and shot a 143. I want to say 143. We both shot 143, and we had to do a 1-arrow shoot off. I shot an X. He shot a 10, so I moved on to the gold. And we actually had to shoot the gold the next day because it got too dark, which is the first time ever that's probably happened in USA Archery history that we had to postpone eliminations because of darkness. But we ended up shooting the next morning, and I shot a 149 against David Hauser. He shot a 148, so I ended up taking away the gold. And then the way that works all out, me and David both flipped spots, first and second, so we got a total average of 1.5. But the elimination round overrides qualification, so I ended up being Grand National champ. So.
Well, congrats, man. Now, I saw pictures of all you guys in the rain. So was that practicing in the rain, or was that shooting in the rain?
The picture with me and Emily, we were, that was match day, so on Sunday morning when all we had to do was our match, and we got delayed about an hour because of lightning. So we just got all dressed and were prepared for the worst, but it ended up being really good, really calm, and it was actually perfect shooting conditions.
Well, that's great. So Emily, how did you end up doing?
I did good. First day of qualifications, I actually had to shoot in the crappy morning weather. I had on my sweatpants and a sweatshirt and was freezing the whole entire time, believe it or not. And it was supposed to rain, but it ended up not raining. But it was like super windy, like gusty, and I was freezing, and everyone else down the line was, especially poor Danielle Reynolds. She's from Arizona. She's not used to that at all. But ended up shooting like a 327, and that wasn't, it wasn't good, but it was good enough to keep me up. I think I was in like second or third place after I shot that, so no one really shot well. But then still had a great attitude after that game, and so I went into the second one knowing that the wind calmed down and I could finally take off my jacket and my sweatpants, and ended up shooting a 340, which I've only shot over a 340 like one other time, and that was 2 years ago. So I was like pumped beyond belief, and I ended up sitting in second place. So it was a good place, a good confidence for me for the next day. And showed up the next day, got to sleep in a little bit because Chris and my dad ended up shooting in the morning, and someone came and picked me up, thank goodness, so I didn't have to be out there all day.
Yeah, lucky you.
Yeah. So showed up and was in a weird mood for some reason. I don't know. It was just something going on that I wasn't aware of, and ended up shooting really, really strong. Like was on my way to a great like high score at a tournament, and then all of a sudden shot like a 52 for an end, and it just like freaked me out. And my coach was there and he came over, and I didn't really know it was affecting me that much, but he talked to me a little bit and got me back on track, and ended up shooting a 338 for that game. It wasn't bad, but in my mind I was just kind of felt disappointed. But shot my next game and tried to stay positive and in a really good mood, and ended up shooting a 330 and was super close. Like from, I was in second most of the time, but like from second to seventh, it was like all tied or in between like 1 point of all the junior girls. It was like insane. My mom was saying I'd jump from place to place, but I ended up qualifying third, and I ended up tying with Hunter Jackson, but beat her by like 3 X's. So it was so close, and everyone shot so well, especially for the weird weather. Like practice day, it was like 100% humidity. Then qualification day one was like freezing, and then day two was perfect. So we got like a little bit of everything. But qualifications was good, and then Chris told you ORs got all switched up, so I was pretty tired, but I kind of powered through it after sitting around all day, and ended up shooting a 146 my first match, which I won. I did really well for myself, so I was all happy to go into the next one. And my next couple, it was against Angelica, Danielle, and then after that depended on where I went. But those were some good matches. I ended up winning all of them to make it to the gold medal match, but they were all real close and they were all a lot of fun. No ties though. But me and Hunter Jackson made it to the gold medal match and shot that Sunday morning. I ended up shooting a 143, and she ended up shooting a 140. So it was a close game, and congrats to her. And then I think Danielle ended up with third place, and Brogan ended up with fourth. So we all kind of switched around, but it was good. I ended up with a 2 and a 1. No, a 3 and a 1. I ended up with a 3 and a 1, so my grand total score was like a 2. So I ended up winning Grand National Champion, or whatever you want to call it also. So it was a really cool day. My mood was just great when all that was going on.
Well, congrats to you. And by the way y'all are talking, it really sounds like the wind was kicking this past week while y'all were there. But luckily, y'all pulled through, shot strong shots, and it looks like y'all came out on the top end.
Yeah. It was weird though, because like on the windy day, there were a lot of high scores, and the second day it wasn't that windy, but I think it freaked everyone out because they had to focus like in a different way on their form, and the scores actually dropped at first. Even at ORs, it was like dead still, and people were shooting just arrows everywhere, and I don't know, it made you pay attention because it changed so much. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
and
really shows you just how archery, or just how much your mental game matters while you're shooting. But
yeah, for sure. And I was gonna say, if you want to like see personal experiences or what like the majority of people are doing, we did a ton of interviews down at Outdoor Nationals in Ohio. So if you check out our YouTube page, we have um, like at least 15 to 20 different people that we interviewed and their opinions and personal opinions on what they felt about the tournament and how they shot. So just a little filler right there. So it's actually really cool. You guys should check it out. Just saying.
Definitely. So Roy, tell us a little bit about how you did.
Uh, this weekend was interesting. Came into the shoot really confident. Practice day, shot some good scores. Then came into the first day of qualifying, and like Emily said before, archery happened. It was a little windy and gusty, kind of like SoCal if any of you guys were out there, but a little higher wind. So went in, ended up not getting 2 arrows off, which got me 2 zeros. In the first game, I was down a ton of points. So I talked to George, got back mentally ready for the second game, came back and shot an okay score in the high 330s. So that was a little better. Second day, came in with a whole new mindset, just focused on shooting 10s and getting the job done. The first game shot a 341, and the second game shot a 344, which got me up to I think 5th or 4th place, which was definitely an accomplishment for me, thinking that I haven't been to a lot of outdoor shoots like this one. So then we went to the eliminations or the OR rounds and ended up getting knocked out the first round there. So
Well, it sounds like you pulled it together. That you have 2 zeros. That is a tough comeback to make. But it sounds like you placed 4th and 5th qualification.
Yeah, that is crazy. And I got INCO up and rolling. In your final round ranking, Roy, you came in. Hold on, I'm looking here. Roy Green, 17th. So you shot a 13-12. Yeah, well, 17th for overall with qualification and eliminations.
Mm-hmm.
So you shot a 13-12, and then you shot a 136 for your first match. So that's good shooting, especially with 2 misses going on.
Yeah.
So that was your first outdoor nationals?
That was my first outdoor nationals. Yeah.
So don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, that was like huge, and you learned a lot of lessons, and that's awesome. I mean, you did well. You're up there with everyone else.
Yeah, it was definitely it was an experience, and it was really fun.
That's good.
Yeah, I hate I had to miss it, but we do have to make a shout out to Matthew Weinstein. Now, this kid is always in the shop shooting thousands of arrows a week, guys.
Mm-hmm.
He is the most dedicated, most driven archer I know, and he is only 13. That's the thing I cannot grasp my head around. Is this kid is 13 in the shop every day shooting his bow. And I think, Roy, you have all the numbers for me. But I think he shot a record. Am I right?
Yeah, he actually did shoot a record. He shot 2 715s, was it?
I can look on Matthew Weinstein. Altogether, he shot a 1429.
Yeah. Which that's impressive. He broke the new Cub world record for USA Archery by 12 points?
So it was quite a few. Here, Matthew Weinstein shot a 1358 or a 358, a 357, a 358, and a 356, all at 30 meters. If just to clarify, when Cubs shoot at 30 meters and cadets and up shoot at 50 meters. So, but still, that's ridiculous scores.
And he actually shot 50 points up from his score last year. So that just goes to show how much practicing he does and how much it can actually help. Just making your shot consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What does he shoot per day? Doesn't he come into the shop and shoot like 400 arrows a day or something?
It's around 250 to 325, depending on the day, how much time he has. It's inside, outside, blind bell. Everything we talk about is what he does, and it is showing that it does work, and he's doing great.
That's crazy. That's good he's at an age that he has time to do that. I'm just trying to think of how I'm fitting in 300 arrows a day when I'm like going to be at school, going to class and working and homework and everything. Awesome.
Yeah, that will definitely change when he gets into high school, but he'll definitely work around it. Like I probably top shoot 400 arrows a week. But you just work with that. You do quality shots instead of quantity shots, and it's the same feel. Your form's still nice and solid. So it's just different ways of practicing for everyone.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So Will, what's our next topic? Since we unless you have anything else to talk about Ohio.
We're going to,
That's about all I got. Unless
going
you guys have any other input.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Our next topic will be South Dakota, which probably half the majority of the people that are shooting are already there, but we're actually going to miss the first day of shooting because they take your top 3 days of, or top 3 scores, I believe.
including animals.
Because we shoot 2 hunters and 2 field with a hunter round in there. So we can miss a day, and instead of 1 day at home, we have 2 days at home. So we're leaving tomorrow morning. But,
Nice.
yeah, pretty insane. Travel-wise.
Yeah, so that's going to be the field out there, and then the IFA World Field is directly after that shoot, which you guys are going to be at too, which I'll see you guys there. So.
Yeah, we'll be we shoot nationals, and then the very next day, actually the last day of nationals is opening ceremony also for World. So we jump right into the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a fun couple of 10 days.
Whoa, I think it's 9. It's only 9.
Only 9.
Yeah.
So.
Emily's kind of worried because she's never really shot that tournament.
Yeah.
Or anything. So.
Have you shot it before, Chris?
No, this will be our first major official field tournament. So it's kind of like you with outdoor nationals.
Yeah, we never even shot like a state shoot for this, so that's why I'm kind of nervous because I don't know if everyone will be up to helping the new kids. So
yeah,
it should be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. You know how to shoot, so all we need to do now is hit the target. So.
Pretty much all you got to do is know how to cut yardage. So with up angled and down angled shots. So
in South Dakota, I've heard from so many people that their field is so flat. They said there's 1 target or maybe 2 that they take like a yard difference. So it's
yeah.
And you shot their field course, right, Roy?
Yeah. I've shot their field. Most of their targets are pretty easy with like no cut at all. But then like you'll go like 3 targets where there's no cut. It's just straight up. You have like a 40-yard, the 70-yard, and then you walk right into an 11-yard target, the bunny target, and it's like down like off a sand berm, and you gotta cut like 3 yards off it or something. So.
Do you?
It's yeah. But there's not many targets where you have to cut a lot, but it's still it's a really fun course to shoot.
Yeah, I heard it's really nicely put together and shooter friendly.
Oh yeah.
Looking forward to it. All right, well, I don't know how long we've been going, but you got anything else?
Not really. I want to know what Will's been doing at home while we've been at shoots and he's just hanging at home,
Well, thanks for making me feel good about that, guys. Well, like we said last time, I got a new job working at the Long County Sheriff's Office, actually working in the jail. So I've been there Monday through Friday, and then soon I'll be starting my shift work. So it's going to be 12-hour shifts. So I don't know how that's going to go yet with my shooting, but we're going to find out here real soon. So I'll let you guys know.
All right.
Yeah, it should be interesting. One other thing. When we were in Ohio, we came up with the idea to make a couple T-shirts. So we're going to have like Junior Pro Talk themed T-shirts. George has already made one for me if you looked on Instagram. With it ain't easy, hashtag be real, hashtag
Oh
Pro
yeah.
Talk.
You can see my hot modeling skills.
Yeah, Roy, that was very good modeling skills for that. So kudos for you.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know, Will. I'm thinking maybe 2 big arms on yours or something silhouette.
Oh, hush.
Will, I see the guns.
No.
Hashtag
come on, man.
Might say hashtag be real. That's the one I want.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking. I just talked to the t-shirt place today. Coincidentally, we had to pick up some stuff, and we can make it happen, no problem. I think George Riles is gonna put together a couple logos or whatever. He still has to make a logo for our profile picture, so that's why our profile picture is not up. I just said it. George Riles has been slacking, so maybe he'll get on that now. But anyways, George is gonna make a few t-shirt options for us, and we'll hopefully have them for sale in the next couple weeks. So fingers crossed. And that will help with the camera equipment and everything like that to make this show better. That's the plan.
Oh yeah.
All right. All right, well, guys, I think that's a wrap. That sound good?
Yeah, sure.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next
Yeah.
week. Thanks for stopping by.